Rover Gang, Rover Gang, Rover Gang. That's what Shade Room told me.
Mm.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
Let's get this shit.
Let's
get this shit. Come on.
Yeah, listen, listeners. I'm unsure if you guys have heard, but Baby Keem, who is, I guess, would we say the first artist, or at least the first artist to put out an album, I'll say, on the PG Lang label, which is owned by Kendrick Lamar, which Baby Keem, who is his cousin, released an album called The Melodic Blue. And I'm not going to give my opinion first. I want you guys to talk about it. What did you both think about this album?
Spence be wanting us to jump out the gate and hate before he gets his hate out.
It's not even hate. I'm just asking a question. I'm conversationalist, right?
I have a little bit of hate. I'm not going to lie. But it's only a slight bit. Me personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of this album. I listened to it. I tried to really give it a chance 2 or 3 times, and I just wasn't. It's just really not for me. I think that personally, there are people who will like it, and I think some of his more melodic songs are a little bit more palatable for me. But overall, I just don't really like the album.
I listened to the album twice. Once, it was very hard to get through it. It was like eating Popeye biscuits. But once
no drinks.
Exactly, no drinks. That's why it was very hard. Next year, once I got a glass of water, I was able to listen to the album a second time, and I was just like, never again. This album is a bad album. I don't understand how people are saying this is better than Donda. I don't understand how people are saying this is better than CLB. Baby Keem, he's just simply not a good artist. I think he, and it's my fault for taking him seriously. Maybe if I listened to him like I was listening to a Soulja Boy or a Lil B, maybe I would have enjoyed the album. Maybe I would have seen for what it was. But I listened to this for hope of, this is Kendrick's cousin. Well, Family Ties was a dope song. Maybe he's actually, he given up his former lifestyle to actually rap. Nope. This song, just the first song alone, Trademark USA. The song starts out, boom, beat switch. And I was like, I'm fucking with this beat switch. Then boom, 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 beat switch again. And I'm like, what is he doing? And that's the tail of the album. Just a lot of shit going on in each fucking track. And I don't fucking get it. Even the most popular song, Rage Brothers. That's where the Top of the Morning is coming from. That's where the Let's Get This Shit is coming from. That's because that song has 3 fucking songs in one song. And that's the narrative of the fucking album. It's like he's doing so much. And when he does this auto-tune thing, it sounds like a little brat baby that needs his ass whipped. It's just too much, man.
Well, real quick before you say anything, I was saying to y'all before, it sounds like a mix of Playboi Carti and Kendrick Lamar. So, I mean, the baby voice kind of fits in with that whole theme. You know what I mean?
Right. But we know what we're getting with Playboi Carti. This guy, we're like, hey, man, there's a lot of hype. Kanye's fucking with him. Drake is fucking with him. Kendrick is fucking with him.
Yeah, expectations were high.
Exactly.
Okay.
And on top of it, you got to think, it's Kendrick Lamar, right? I think this plagues every artist that gets signed to another artist in some capacity. It's Kendrick Lamar, bro. So we're already thinking, if Kendrick Lamar thinks you're the next one or the next big talent, you must be something. And then we find out, you come from the same lineage as this man, right? You think, okay, this has to be a really great album. And it's not. It lacks my expectations weren't extremely high, but I had certain standards anytime we see Kendrick Lamar attached to anything, whether it's something musical, whether it's something lyrical, whether it's something story-based, whatever. He's always been able to stay within a creative space that's palatable and still be able to deliver. Him having an artist, you would think he would have an artist that would be the same way, or he could guide him down the right path. Like Lau said, this album's all over the place. It does sound like Playboi Carti a lot. It sounds like Kendrick Lamar. I seen a tweet that even said it sounds like Kendrick Lamar's one of his voices escaped off his
Yeah, that was
album
funny.
and became a person. And this is what we have. Now, don't get me wrong. Family Ties is a pretty good song. And Do Rag Activity is a pretty good song. Do Rag Activity may be actually the one song I really like on this album. But other than that, for me, it's like a 1 out of 5, maybe 2 out of 5.
I'm not mad at your thing. You know, you gave it a better rating than I would have. But the second song right after Trademark USA, it's like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Exactly.
Like,
to me, when I listened to the album, I was just like, I feel like there is somebody out there who likes it, but it's just not me. I don't know. Like, when I listened to it, I tried to just think of him as his own dude. And like, I hear certain things in his music that I just don't like, but it's like, for me, the expectations were, hey, this is Baby Keem. Because it wasn't until long ago I knew he was even Kendrick's cousin in the first place. Right. So when I heard the music, I think it sounds like he's an artist that honestly is like kind of new to a couple things, if I'm being honest. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's pretty young, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's like 21.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's not old at all.
Yeah, he's super. My bad, go ahead.
I'm not sure how long he's been rapping. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Well, I know Kendrick Lamar even wrote for him before. So like, even then, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like you're being coached by the best. Now, right. Granted, typically we see it in a lot of other sports where the greatest typically are not the best coaches or not the best GMs. So maybe it is probably the same in music, unfortunately, where maybe Kendrick is plagued with this curse as well. But it's like you have he just has what other people just dream of having on their first day out.
He wastes it fucking just like he's at fucking Chuck E. Cheese.
But
at a karaoke machine. It's ridiculous.
But bro, even Kendrick Lamar is co-signing this though. That's
to me. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, that's
he's the one.
It's trash. People. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Trust me, you're going to say it's trash if you're putting money behind.
I know what you.
Yeah, like they're invested into. At the end of the day, granted, it's his cousin, but his cousin is signed to him. So you're financially, he's invested in this.
Then that's just double the reason to say yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what's he supposed to do?
I'm not going to say yes to something that's trash if I know I'm making a return off what you put out.
Right, but what if Kendrick, right, is kind of like, I know this is what the kids like today. I'm not saying this is what I like. And that's why we heard two different kinds of That's why we heard on the Range Brothers, I've never heard of Kendrick Lamar like that before. Where his ad-libs are so like fucking nonchalant. I mean, he's kind of in crazy schemed songs where he's on the fourth song on the same track. Like, it's just, I've never heard that kind of Kendrick before. Now, I found it entertaining, it's funny, but we all collectively agree the Range Brother song is not a good song. So yeah, it's entertaining and we'll top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the. That's not rapping. So like, we enjoy that because it's like, haha, it's entertaining. But mainly the album is just not good. But maybe Kendrick, him being a businessman, probably was like, look, I don't fucking rap like this. And for my album, is complete night and day compared to this. But I know that I could get my cousin some sales. I know his demographic is going to fuck with it. When you listen to Baby Keem, he ain't talk about real life shit. He's talking about fucking girls. So like,
you're right though.
Yeah, he's not talking about anything of importance. Like, you know what I mean? So the demographic, the young 21, 22-year-old group, that young, and we used to be in our young 20s. Yeah, we paid attention to shit in society, but we didn't give a fuck. We weren't deep into that shit. We didn't give a fuck about that. We were trying to live our lives and enjoy being young. You know what I mean? Now we're more conscious of everything that goes on in the world. That comes with us being wise in age. So that type of music kind of turns out, we don't fuck with that type of music really. You know, maybe some of it we can enjoy, but not all of it.
Here's my thing. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is like, I'm not mad. I mean, I could see Kendrick supporting Baby Keem with it because Baby Keem is 21 years old. And if that's how Baby Keem wants to rap, why is Kendrick going to be like, well, I'm going to, revoke all my funds and support and access, find it, struggle on your own. He's like, why would he do that? Like, why?
I'm looking at it from the business standpoint because everything you say, I agree with in the terms of like, hey, you're going to let him put out the music he wants to put out in terms of allowing an artist to be as creative as they want to be. So like, I understand that part, but I guess I'm just looking at it from that standpoint of less of the creative side and just more of like, okay, if you my mans and I sign you to whatever contract, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, 5 albums, you know what I'm saying? You'll never get out of your publishing and you'll be a slave to me for the rest of your life until you're like your mid 50s, mid 40s. Right? If I give you one of those contracts, I'm expecting like some hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, granted, we do live in a different world today. To me, a lot of his music sounds like, and I guess it makes sense. It sounds like YouTube rap. Like, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but there are like certain artists that have millions of views, millions of subscribers on YouTube that I've never heard of before, but they have these hit. Granted, now you can buy views and stuff like that. We all know that. Views, followers, likes, all that. Luckily, at our podcast, we don't do that, but but we know there are people out there that do it. Shout outs to y'all. But yeah, you have rappers that are like that make music like his. That I get what you're saying, where we may have aged out of the music, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. I guess to me, it's like, if you're going to just make YouTube rap, just make YouTube rap. And I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's that confliction of just knowing like, maybe I've out-aged myself when it comes to an artist like this.
You just have higher expectations.
Exactly.
What were you going to say, Nigel?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay.
I was listening.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just think the Melodic Blue, it was 2 thumbs down. That's an album that's not for me or my peers. Maybe some kid that's listening to the podcast would enjoy it. Maybe some kid they're gonna hear this shit and they're gonna think like, this is our Kendrick. Maybe they're gonna think that shit. I'm just saying, maybe they're gonna think that. I don't fucking know. So
go ahead. Real quick, I will say one thing. Like, my thing is this, right? I think overall, the reason why Playboi Carti's music works to me and this music doesn't is because, like, I like the way Playboi Carti's music sounds overall. You know what I mean? Like, there's aspects of this album that I like. Oh, Spence, you see the shifty eyes.
I didn't see anything. Eye shifting. Finish your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, we'll get into that in a second. But I feel like when Playboi Carti makes music, I just like the way it sounds. Playboi Keem's, I like aspects of it, but not his overall music. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there are like, and I agree to that aspect in terms of Baby Keem of liking parts and not all.